uh, especially the conservatives, quite frankly, are much more tolerant of people they don't like. It's the liberals who are purists, especially the ones in this town. They're the ones who, like, if you don't agree with me 1,000,000%, I don't even want to know you. That's one of the reasons they lost. They have a bad attitude.
And I don't know why the Democrats lost. I don't understand why the Democrats lost.
Well, people will be writing books about it for years, many reasons. Part of it was, just Biden should not have stayed on so long.
That I understand, but inflation, prices have come down. The economy is good. I mean, I don't know why they voted against her.
Well,
All right, guys, so we got to talk about this very eye-opening interview between Bill Maher and William Shatner. Now, William Shatner is a Canadian actor who is best known for his role in Star Trek. And I want to talk about this conversation because I think it really shows you how clueless a lot of liberals are. Okay, even though, again, this guy is Canadian, he's clearly woke. He's clearly very far left. And just his whole thought process when it comes to the American elections really is a damning indictment on how liberals think about who to vote for to lead the country. Because for whatever reason, he can't figure out why is it that Kamala Harris was not elected? Why did the American people reject Kamala Harris? Because according to him, her being black and a woman is enough, right? That's all she needed, right? Those are all the qualifications that she needed in order to be qualified to be president of the United States. Take a look.
she was not a great candidate, let's be honest. When they asked,
Why isn't she a great candidate? She combined several trends of thought here: black, woman.
that's not a candidate. Those are, that's identity politics. That's one of the Democrats'
those are elements.
Those are there, but nobody elects. I mean, yeah, people are tribal. There are some people who will vote just for the person who looks like them or is like them. But obviously, I think this proves you got to go a lot further than that. You can't just be woman, black person. I mean, Trump got a quarter of black men. That's 25%.
I know.
He didn't do much better in generally because the women are very much against him, but he killed it with Latinos. If there's any great irony in this election, is that the guy who came down the escalator 10 years ago talking about the rapists, they keep giving him more of their votes. And again, I understand this.
Why? Tell me what you understand.
I will. Democrats don't understand their own constituencies. If you're a Mexican American, who do you fear taking your job? The guy who just came in through the border. Of course they like the guy who says, I'm going to keep everybody out.
But he didn't say I'm keeping everybody out.
Well,
I'm going to send everybody out.
Okay, but the Democrats could have won this election in a walk, I think. Not a walk, but I think they could have won it if Biden got out earlier. They had a true primary season to find the best candidate, not just one whose turn was it, who, by the way, before they anointed her, nobody was sort of on the page that she was very good at being a candidate. Or
She failed the first time.
Okay, so if they had done that, and then the pointless reversing of Trump's border policy, which was remain in Mexico and not everything counts as asylum. The Democrats' fatal flaw is they always have to look like the good people. So they reversed that and let in too many people. Not that we shouldn't be a nation of immigrants, but it just was a lawless shit show for years. And people noticed, and then they started to send them, the Democrats' hypocrisy was called out because the people in the northern cities who were like, we welcome everybody. And then the governors on the border states were like, okay, well, here they are. Enjoy this busload.
What hasn't been talked about to the extent I will be is the unrest given global warming of millions of people wanting to get somewhere else. And somewhere else is like the United States. There are millions of people that will, in the near future,
Yeah.
want to leave their country because they can't live in it.
Yes. And look, I mean, it's going to happen here too. We could lose Florida.
Well, we will.
And if anybody
eventually.
knows about losing Florida, it's Democrats.
Wow. Wow. That, folks, is your brain on liberalism, right? That's it. That is the gist of this man's thought process in regards to why is it that Kamala Harris lost, okay? Because in his mind, which again is programmed on MSNBC and CNN, the economy is great, everything is great, she's perfect, she's black and she's a woman. So how could the American people reject a black woman? How? I don't get it. I don't understand. Well, of course you don't understand because you are an out-of-touch millionaire, right? You're a Hollywood actor who clearly does not understand what the average American is going through, right? So when you're clueless, when you're out of touch, of course you're not going to understand. But again, what really blows my mind is that this guy, when talking about why Kamala Harris was a good candidate, the only thing he could really say was that she's black and she's a woman, as if that has anything to do with their qualifications. But that is how the liberal mind works. That's how the liberal mind works. They cannot see beyond identity. They can't. Kamala Harris being a so-called black woman was enough for this guy. Well, she's black and a woman and she's a liberal, right? Therefore, she has to be good enough. Now, can I be that surprised by this? Again, considering how obviously this guy's brain, again, is on MSNBC, is on the liberal media, because he believes that the biggest threat from Trump is his position on climate change.
First is congratulations. You not only won, you won big.
He won big.
Everybody should get props just for success, despite the vulgarities and
Maybe because of the vulgarities.
Maybe because, but also my mantra: losers look in the mirror.
Well, I think that's what everybody has to do. The thing that worries me the most is global warming. You can, the wrong financial advice and get rid of whatever government agencies you want to get rid of. You can always put them back in 4 years later. But you can't lose 4 years of global warming.
Wow. What scares me the most is that apparently there is a significant population of people in this country that think this exact same way, right? They really do believe that voting for Democrats is going to save the world, right? Somebody please educate this man on the fact that China produces most of the world's emissions, right? When you look at it by country, okay, they are the leading polluter in the world. And if the United States reduced their CO2 emissions down to zero, right? That's not really going to change anything when it comes to climate change, right? That you cannot vote for Democrats enough to actually affect climate change, right? Like that's not a thing, okay? But this is what these people believe, right? They believe that Republicans are the cause of strong hurricanes and tornadoes and natural disasters that have happened for thousands of years, right? Again, this is, it's just beyond ignorance, right? It frustrates me. Even though Trump won, it's just like, we just should not have people who are this ignorant on politics, right? But I mean, again, this is what the Democrat Party thrives off of, right? Voters who think this way. Now, what frustrates me the most, though, is Bill Maher, who can clearly recognize the negatives of the Democrat Party and how bad they are. The fact that they did a terrible job on the border, that the economy is not great, that they're way too woke. This guy can recognize these things, but yet he still voted for Kamala Harris, right? He still votes Democrat, even though he knows how bad the left is. He knows how toxic the left is. I mean, he was talking about how liberals are not tolerant, right? The tolerant people in this country are conservatives, right? Conservatives are way more tolerant of people that disagree with them than liberals. And I'm sure Bill Maher knows this firsthand, considering how he claims to be an old school liberal. And old school liberals, quote unquote old school liberals, are not tolerated in the Democrat Party, right? They're not, okay? They call people like Bill Maher far right, okay? White supremacists. This is what the modern day Democrat Party has classified people like Bill Maher. But yet he's still rolling with that same old party when all the so-called old school liberals, the smart ones, the reasonable ones, they basically say, hey, I guess I'm conservative now, right? I guess I'm a Republican, right? They voted for Trump. They voted for Trump. So, both of these individuals frustrate me, right? The clueless liberals and the liberals who are not so clueless, they understand how bad the Democrat Party has become. The fact that the Democrat Party is not the party of liberalism anymore. They're actually the party of authoritarianism, far left authoritarianism, right? The Democrat Party is illiberal, okay? But yet, he still supports the party. And I really don't understand why, but, this is where we're at, okay? Again, thank God this election, Trump still won, but there's more work to do, right? There's more work to do because, again, there's too many people in this country that are just ill-informed, uninformed, and ignorant on how things actually work, okay? In the current state, the current reality that regular everyday people are facing in this country. And in fact, the Democrat Party has been a complete and total disaster when it comes to solving those problems. And that's probably the primary reason why they lost. And I don't think they could have changed that by having an open primary or anything like that. I think they were just going to lose no matter what because Trump's economy and Trump's first administration was so good. But yeah, they probably would have had a better chance had they actually had a real primary, had they actually done things a little bit differently, if they didn't gaslight the American people in regards to how the economy is and the state of the country. Yeah, that would have helped them out a little bit, right? It would have made them seem at least like somewhat reasonable people, but I still think that Trump would have won regardless. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.